Hi folks, welcome back to the channel, or to the channel for if this is your first time. Well, after 6 months, actually a bit more than 6 months of not buying any books, I've definitely fallen off the wagon big time in the last couple of months. I really have a problem and I need help. It's not for nothing that I used the term book addict in my channel name. I've got, I think, probably 3 large bundles of books to do videos on that have come my way in the last week and a half. And there's, I think, a small bundle still to come this next week. Oh, it's sad. Anyway, I'm going to split it up into, I think, 3 videos. This first video, excuse me, is going to be dealing with the DAW Yellow Spine series of SF and fantasy books. If you watch the videos of my good friend Kenny H, and you should do, you'll know that he is setting himself a challenge to find all of the around 580 books that are in the DAW SF Yellow Spine series. And I reckon very soon he will be hitting close to the 90%. He's done brilliantly. I can't quite challenge Kenny. I have currently got around 160, I think, of the books, or I did have until today. Right, let's see what I've come across. First off, speaking of Kenny, he very kindly sent me a couple of duplicates that he had. The first one is by Hugh Walker, Army of Darkness, Maghera 2, from the Chronicles of the Lords of Wonder, which is number 323 in the DAW series. Nice spine on that one. As Kenny has pointed out, often these are the first things to go in these books. They get sun faded and go very white, and the red of the name tends to fade. But this one's pretty good. One of the outstanding features of the DAW series is the great covers. That's a nice cover done by Jad, J-A-D, not an artist I've ever heard of. This is a first printing from January 1979. Seems Hugh Walker must have been a German author, because this is a translation. And the second book that Kenny sent me was by Jack Vance, The 5 Gold Bands, the biggest manhunt in galactic history. This one is number 374 in the series. That one's a little bit more faded, but it's an unbroken spine, which is really important to me generally. The Hugh Walker, as with a lot of the DAW books, is an original, never before in paperback. But the Jack Vance is just a first DAW printing from February 1980. It's originally copyrighted 1950. I like the cover art, and that's by Gino D'Achille. So Thank you very much, Kenny, for those two. Much appreciated. Now, did you think that was it? Bring on the rest. There are 44 books here. I'd basically given up ever finding the bundles of books that I used to get a year ago or so. And it was going to be down to getting individual books at higher prices. But the other week I did a search on eBay and came across a seller, a lady by the name of Sandra, who was selling a number of bundles of DAW SF Yellow Spine books. Most of the bundles were devoted to a particular author, but there were some DAW books that were mixed in with assorted other science fiction paperbacks. And she was open to offers, so I contacted her, put in an offer for all the author-related bundles, and asked if she'd be open to splitting out the DAW Yellow Spines from the assorted bundles. And she very kindly was, so I put in an extra additional offer for those as well. She accepted my offer, and hence this bundle of 44 books. Now, most of these are from later in the series. As I said, it goes up to, I think, is it 580? Kenny knows. And most of these, I think, are from like the 2, 3, 4, 500s part of the series. But I never thought I'd get another bundle of DAWs in this good a condition. These are better than most of the ones I've already got in my collection. So let's have a look. Start off with two that were in the bundle, which I wasn't expecting. I think she threw these in. These are two books by C.J. Cherry. They're not first prints. This, you can tell by the fact that they got the UE number rather than the series number at the top. This is Gate of Ivrel. This is, I think, this is a fourth printing. I think this was originally number 188. It was the first printing was from March 1976. I think this came out in about 1980, actually. So while it's not one of the ones I would normally go for, it'll be useful as a placeholder until I can find a true first printing. And there was a second similar one, again C.J. Cherry, The Faded Sun, Kesthrith, UE 1692. Original number, I think, was 300 for this one. Again, came out in the 80s. I can't remember exactly when. This is a fourth printing. The first DAW printing was from August 1978. Oh, I never mentioned the artist, because a big part of this. That Gates of Ivrel was the cover art's by Michael Whelan, popular artist. And The Faded Sun, Kesthrith, is by Gino D'Achille again. So those are the only two that are not properly part of the series, if you like. They're not first prints. So I'm going to go through the rest. I'm going to go through them in series order. The earliest book is number 7, which is by Brian Stableford, To Challenge Chaos. This is from the first printing, I think. Yeah, DAW Books original from 1972, and the cover art is by Kelly Frias. Not particularly keen on that, or it might have been better if it had extended up. We then jump from number 7 up to number 115, and a popular author with DAW, E.C. Tubb, and one of his Dumarest of Terror series. This is Xenia, which is the 11th in the series. This is from first print in August 1974, and that's another Frias cover. Next, 127, which is Ian Wallace's A Voyage to Dari, a Cosmic Extravaganza. I've never showed you the spines. They're really pretty good. This is a November 1974 first print, and the cover art is by another artist I've not heard of, Peter Meneses. Not a particularly striking cover, but there you go. Back to E.C. Tubb for the next one, and this is the 12th in the Dumarest series, Eloise, and number 143. This one, quite like the cover, which is by George Barr, and this is from March 1975. From number 12, we go to number 13 in the Dumarest series, and this is Eye of the Zodiac, obviously by E.C. Tubb. See what I mean? Nice yellow spines there. It's quite a striking cover. Again by George Barr, and this is from September 1975. And guess what? Number 14 in the Dumarest series, and number 198 in the DAW series. Jack of Swords, first print in June 1976, with a cover art by Thomas Barber Jr. Not particularly great, but not bad. An author I don't know, and that's David J. Lake is next with his Walkers on the Sky. This is number 223. Cover art by Richard Hescox. I must admit, I like that. And this is a first printing from December 1976. We go back to Brian Stableford next for one of his Daedalus mission books. This is the second in the series, Critical Threshold, number 230 in the DAW series. And as you see, there's a sticker on here from Andromeda Bookshop, which states it's signed by the author. If we have a look inside, you can see the signature. So I think I won't try and take that sticker off. This is first print in February 1977, and the cover art is by Douglas Beekman. Number of artists on these early books that I've not heard of. We have another book by David J. Lake, number 239 in the series. This is The Right Hand of Dexter. Colour this world green. Really nice bright yellow spine on this one. April 1977 for this, and that's another George Barr cover. A really excellent one, that one. And we are back with Mr. Tubb. And we've jumped to number 17 in the Humorist series, Prison of Night, number 271 in the DAW series. I do like that cover, I must admit. So who's that by? That's by Don Mates. I'm not used to identifying these artists yet. Kenny really is pretty good at it. This is the first printing from December 1977. And then we have a third one by David J. Lake, The Gods of Xuma. I'm not sure how you meant to pronounce it. Number 279. And I must admit, I do like that cover. Yeah, that's excellent. And the cover is another Don Mates. Excellent work. And this is the first printing from February 1978. We have a famous author for the next one. That's Theodore Sturgeon with A Touch of Strange, number 286. Quite a striking cover. This one does have a bit of fading on the spine. The back's a little bit grubby, but I haven't cleaned these yet. Maybe, hopefully, that might clean up a bit. Now, this is a book of short stories, unusually for the DAW ones, apart from the sort of best SF and best horror anthologies they did. This is a first DAW printing from April 1978. The original copyright was from 1958. And that cover is by Hans Arnold. Another author I don't know. We're back to Brian Stableford for the fourth in his Daedalus series, The City of the Sun, number 289. Another really good cover, which I didn't want to say it, but it is by Don Mates. I didn't want to say it just in case I was going to be wrong. This is first print in May 1978. Yeah, Don Mates did some really nice covers. We now are on to Arthur H. Landis and Camelot in Orbit. Number 315. Sword and Sorcery combines the wonders of sword and sorcery with the science adventure of high space. Camelot in Orbit. Sounds like fun, actually. November 1978, first printing, and it's another Don Mates cover. He's rapidly becoming a favourite of mine. Back to Mr. Tubb, yet again. You can see this was one of the bundles that she'd put together. And this is number 19 in the Dumarest series. And this is the Quillian sector. Now, there's a couple of these, and this I think might be one, which are duplicates for me. Only 2 or 3, I think. But they're all going to be, I think, upgrades. This one's December 1978 with a cover by H.R. Van Dongen. An artist, an author that I hear good things about, and that's Doris Piserkia. I'm not sure whether that's or a soft CH, with Spaceling. This is a science fiction book club selection. Number 338. Like I say, I hear that she's a very good author. I should really try one of her books. First DAW printing from May 1979. The original copyright was from 1978, just a year earlier. That cover art is by George Barr. Here we have another by C.J. Cherry, Fires of Azeroth, number 341. Fires of Azeroth is the grand climax of the Morgaine trilogy. First printing June 1979 and cover art by Michael Whelan. Ian Wallace next with Hella's Leap, Death of a She Planet, number 345. A bit chunkier than most of the books that you get in DAW. First printing July 1979 with a cover by Tony Roberts. I like that one. Another C.J. Cherry, Hiestia, number 354. I don't think this is from one of her series. Looks like a standalone. September 1979, cover by Don Mates. Not as good as the other ones, I don't think, that he's done. And we get the final landing of the Daedalus mission with Brian Stableford's The Paradox of the Sets, number 358. First print in October 1979. Quite a decent cover there by H.R. Van Dongen. And guess what? Another one by Mr. E.C. Tubb. This is number 21 in the Dumarest of Terror series. Iduna's Universe, number 363. First print in November 1979. Cover art by Michael Mariano. Another name unknown to me, I think. It's not a bad cover, actually. Moving on with number 394, and this is Joe Clayton with Star Hunters, a novel of the Diadem. I think this is part of a series. Never read anything by Joe Clayton. I do have another couple by her from DAW. Yeah, the Novels of the Diadem was a 5-book series, and this is the 5th in the series. From July 1980, and that's another Michael Mariano cover. C.J. Cherry, yes, another author that was bundled I think there were 2 bundles of her books. This is number 396, and it's Serpent's Reach, another science fiction book club selection. I do like that cover. I just like the colours adopted on there. I think this is a standalone. First print in August 1980, and the cover is by David B. Mattingly. No, never heard of him, but I do like that cover. We're back to Mr. Stableford, but I think this must be a standalone. It's not part of the Daedalus books anyway. This is Optimum, Flesh and Blood War Games on a Conquered Planet. Number 406. Again, not a bad cover, that. Quite striking. It's the colours often, rather than the actual image that attracts. And this is from October 1980, and it's another Michael Mariano cover. And we're back to Mr. Tubb with number 23 in the Dumares series. Don't know how many there were in total, and a lot. And this is World of Promise, number 411 in the DAW series. Another cover I really like, actually. First print in November 1980, and the cover's by Ken W. Kelly. I have heard of him. We have another novel by Mr. Ian Wallace, The Lucifer Comet, number 4112. I mean, this one did sound intriguing. They discovered a vast comet far out between the stars. Within its icy core were 2 beings, frozen in still life for thousands of years. One was human, a Prometheus figure, but the other, locked with the first in a tableau of eternal combat, was Lucifer. Yeah, that does sound intriguing. December 1980, and that cover art is by Gino D'Achille. We now come to probably what I think is possibly C.J. Cherry's most famous novel. I think this won the Hugo, in Down Below Station. Quite a chunky book. I've heard good things about this, though I think, was it Kenny that read it and wasn't that impressed? I know somebody didn't like it, but it's called a tour de force of science fiction on the back. Then it would be, they would say that. This is a first printing from February 1981, and that cover art is by David B. Mattingly again. Now we come to an author that I've read quite a bit of his later stuff when I was reading SF back in the day, and that's John Brunner with novels like Stand on Zanzibar and The Jagged Orbit. I've got tons more now that I've collected over the last couple of years. I didn't realise how prolific an author he had been. And this is To Conquer Chaos, book number 422. This is a first DAW printing from February 81, though copyright wasn't 81. It was originally serialised in New Worlds in 1963, published as a book and copyright 64 by Ace Books. Now, that cover is by H.R. Van Dongen. Quite good, that. We're back to Mr. Tubb with number 24 in his series, Nectar of Heaven, number 431 in the DAW series. I wonder how long it took him to push these books out. I mean, they are fairly slim, but even so. I'm going to have to read one, see what they're like. This is first print in April 1981, and the cover is by Ken W. Kelly. And another Tubb one. That one was 24. This is 25. The Terry Day, number 455 from DAW. October 1981, with a cover by Richard Hescox. This one has a great cover. I love this cover. Love the colours again. This is another Doris Pizerkia, Earth in Twilight. Lovely condition. I like the picture of the dragon inside. First print in November 1981, with cover art by Wayne D. Barlow. Again, new name, but I do like that cover, even if it is quite terrifying. Miss Cherry again, with The Pride of Chanur, another science fiction book club selection. Number 464, with raised golden lettering. Never too keen on normally. This is from DAW's 10th year of leading the SF field. This is from a first printing from January 1982, where an abridged version of this novel appeared in Science Fiction Digest 1981. The cover art's by Michael Whelan. On to the last batch, and we're back to Joe Clayton with Moongather, the first of a great fantasy trilogy, number 481. May 1982 with a Ken Kelly cover. I like that cover as well. We have another one by Doris P. This is The Dimensioners by, it's number 486, weird cover. I mean, the top half looks like something like from Narnia with Aslan, and you've got some sort of soldiers on flying alligators or crocodiles and below. And it's a Kelly Freas cover. The book is a first printing from June 1982. C.J. Cherry again with Merchanter's Luck, which I think, it's Rendezvous at Down Below Station, so it's a follow-up to her Hugo Award-winning novel. And this is number 488. So getting quite late in the DAW series now. First printing July 1982. Cover art by Barclay Shaw. No, doesn't do a lot for me. Second novel in this batch from Arthur H. Landis. Home to Avalon, Earth's Last Refuge or Earth's Final Foe. And this is number 505. First print in November 1982, and it's again a Ken W. Kelly cover. Doris again with The Deadly Sky, number 515. January 1983 with a Frank Kelly Freas cover. C.J. Cherry again, this time with raised embossed title in silver and a number box in white, makes it stand out from the rest. This is number 521, The Dreamstone. I think it's a standalone novel. First print in March 1983, and that cover is by David A. Cherry. Not spelt the same as CJ's name. It's Cherry without the H on the end. And yet another one by Mr. Tubb, Malome, which is 28th in his series. And this is number 534 from DAW. June 1983, with a cover by Vincent DiFarte. Another author we've seen in this bunch of books, David J. Lake, with Warlords of Zuma. And this is number 535. Again, nice spine on it. Looks. It's obviously a book in the Edgar Rice Burroughs tradition. Yeah, I think based on the Barsoom series by Burroughs. June 1983 this came out, and the cover art is by Oliviero Berni. Down to the last two, and two of the more popular authors in this batch, and that's C.J. Cherryh again, number 540, The Tree of Swords and Jewels. From August 1983 with a Michael Whelan cover. And who else could we finish off with but Mr. E.C. Tubb with number 29 in his Humorist of Terror series, number 565 in the DAW series. This one's from February 1984, and it's got a Ken W. Kelly cover. Well, that's it. I never thought, like I said, that I would get another batch of DAW yellow spines as good as those. Probably be the last time. She did have a few others by Tanith Lee, but for some reason those were more expensive. They were like, I think, £13 each. I didn't realise Tanith Lee was as popular or as rare as that. Anyway, thank you for sticking it out for 42 minutes. Sorry about that. I've got another big batch to show you very soon, maybe in the next couple of days. And then maybe next week I'll do the third batch when the new set of books arrives. Anyway, take care. By the way, if you've read any of those books or know any of the authors, please drop a comment and let me know. Always glad to hear from you. All the best. Bye.